Hi, this is Andrew Garcia, Senior Analyst with eWeek Labs. Today I'll be showing you a couple of useful Windows tools for IT administrators. One that will help you get to Windows 7, and the other that will be useful once your PCs are running the new OS. First of all, I want to show you part of the Windows Automated Installation Toolkit, the AIK, which is a free download from Microsoft. I've already kicked off the installation in the background here. The AIK comes with a bunch of tools to help administrators customize Windows 7 deployments. I'll show you two of these tools, ImageX, which I'll use to capture and build a Windows 7 installation disk that includes some standard non-OS applications, and the Windows Pre-Installation Environment, or PE, to build a portable boot disk that works with the new OS. To build my custom installation media, I'll need two PCs at least. One, which we see here, is the administrator PC, on which I've installed the AIK, and I'll use it to build the imaging tools and then later to build the new OS installation media. The other PC is the reference PC, and that's the one I'll use to customize with my applications. Once that's built to the way I want it, I'll be imaging it. With AIK installed, I need to do some command line work with admin rights to build my imaging boot disk. The commands are slightly different if the OS you're going to image later is 32 or 64-bit. Just make sure that the commands you use are consistent, because they are different for each architecture. The basic steps are going to be to use the copy-pe command to build a new bootable directory structure, then to file copy both the boot image and the ImageX tool to this structure. Then, after inserting a USB storage device into the admin PC, I'm going to run diskpart command to clean and format the device, and then to make the partition I just created active. Then I'm going to copy over the directory structure that I made in the last step over to the storage device. You may have noticed that I formatted the USB stick in the example here with FAT32, but in practice I'd recommend using NTFS instead. You may find you'll want to save the reference PC image to this stick when you're taking the image, but the image is undoubtedly going to be bigger than 4 gigs, so FAT32 is not going to work for you in reality. Okay, with the imaging boot disk made, I'm going to switch over to the reference PC now. As you can see, I've already customized the OS with a few applications that I want in my build. On here I've got Office 2010, I think it's standard, Microsoft Security Essentials, and a recent build of Firefox 3.6. When I've got the reference PC the way I want it, I'll need to run sysprep to prepare the machine for imaging. Sysprep actually comes in Windows 7 now, unlike back in the XP or Windows 2000 days when it had to be added on as part of the system tools off the boot media. For the first sysprep stage, I want to set it to audit mode. I'm going to check the box to generalize the deployment, and then I'm going to reboot. Depending on the size of your image, this step is going to take a while. It took almost half an hour in this particular case, but I'll save you the agony of sitting through that and skip the video ahead a little bit. Once sysprep comes back up in audit mode, the only reason I'm even in audit mode at all is because I want to remove that user account that I used to configure the reference PC. Once I do that from the standard local users and groups MMC snap-in, then I'm going to set sysprep to run again to provide an out-of-box experience on the next boot up this time instead of audit mode. Again, I want to set sysprep to generalize and this time to shut down. So now the reference machine is ready to image, and I just need to insert that boot imaging USB stick that I created previously and start the machine up when I'm ready to take the image. Okay, now I'm booted into Windows PE from the USB stick. The first thing I want to do is to find out which drive letters correspond to all the storage devices that are attached to this PC. So I'm going to run a couple directory lookups. Okay, the C drive is the reference PC hard drive. You can tell that by the program files directories. The D drive isn't relevant. And the E drive is my USB stick, which I know because there's the ImageX command that I need. So on the stick, I'm going to run an ImageX command that will take and compress the image And this command, with all its many flags, will tell ImageX that I am imaging Windows 7 Enterprise SKU and not Professional. It'll tell ImageX where to save the new image, and I also have to put in the disk names contained both within the old and the new media. This is another long step, so I'm going to skip ahead. Okay, so once the image capture is complete, we can see the resulting image file. That's the install.wim file there, and that the image is around 5 gigs in size. So as I mentioned before, NTFS is definitely the right call. So, with the image captured, I'll need to go back to the admin PC so I can build the Windows installation media using this new image file. This step is basically a ton of file copying, really. The first step is to format another USB stick, and this is the one that's going to be the Windows install disk. I've already done that step, and I've also copied over all the files from an original Windows 7 installation DVD for Enterprise 64-bit in my case. I've copied all those files over to this USB stick I've already formatted, and I've done the copy already. So all I really need to do here to finish it off is to copy that install.wim file that I created from the reference PC and copy it to the sources directory on this new USB stick. I will be overwriting the stock install.wim file that came from the DVD. You do want to do that. So, with that done, we've now got a new Windows 7 installation media that includes our applications. We just need to make sure it works. So I'm going to install my custom Windows 7 image on a third machine here, and I'm going to fast forward through the process, but you still should be able to see that the installation experience adheres very closely to that what you would get doing it straight from a factory installation DVD. In fact, I didn't actually use any of the other AIK tools that come with the product by default, but there are a number of other tools in there that I think you'll find will help you customize deployments even further and make it easier to do. One of the other tools in the AIK, which is called the System Image Manager, can be used to create answer files that allow you to create unattended installations of Windows 7. The answer file fills in things like disk volume sizes, volume licensing keys, user accounts, default display settings, things like that. The System Image Manager can also be used to add third-party software packages or device drivers on top of your customized Windows image by scripting their installation to occur during an audit mode that happens after the primary installation process finishes. Another tool in the AIK is the User State Migration tool, which you can use to migrate users' files and settings from a previous OS installation like Windows XP and move all that over to your fresh Windows 7 installation. If you are going to use the AIK to help you with your deployment, I would definitely recommend playing with either of those as part of your testing. So there, a half hour later, the install is complete, and we'll just poke around a little bit to see if things are as we want them. If I open up the Start menu, we can see that Office 2010 is in there. Word, Excel, Outlook, they're all there. And if we go back to the desktop, we can see both Security Essentials and Firefox. At least the icons have made it over. So let's start up one of them. I'll go with Firefox and just make sure something works. Approve bookmarks, and we're in. So we've now successfully made and tested our custom install disk using the AIK. Next up, we're going to look at the Problem Steps Recorder, which is built into Windows 7 and can be accessed by typing PSR into the search bar. The PSR is a troubleshooting tool that administrators can guide their users to, allowing the user to automatically document the applications used, any mouse clicks or keys pressed on the way to some error message or other problem. The PSR takes screenshots for every action taken by the user with an associated textual documentation of those steps. And when the user stops recording, all that information is zipped up and saved locally. The file won't be transmitted to the administrator automatically. That'll need to be sent through normal communication channels. So let's start the recording. First, I'm going to open Internet Explorer using the mouse on the taskbar, and then I will go to eWeek.com from the navigation bar. Notice that the user can put in a comment with any information they think might be relevant. Then I'm going to snap the window to the left using the Windows left key combination on the keyboard. Then I'm going to open up Word, this time using the search bar. I'll cancel the activation warning, and then snap the window to the right, this time using the mouse. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, and the PSR is going to ask me to save the recorded information, which I'll do to the desktop. Let's open that file, and as we scroll down through it, we can see just how I opened Internet Explorer and inserted the URL along with the user comment. And then we can see how I snapped the screen using the keyboard. Also, notice there's a timestamp on every step taken. As we continue down, we can see that I open Word from the Start menu, then I use the mouse to snap the screen. This kind of detailed information that tracks not only what action a user took, but how they took it, could be quite valuable to help an administrator reproduce problems out of band. As we reach the end of the recording, we can see there is more detailed text describing each recorded step. And if we scroll back to the top, we can see there's an option to view all the slides taken in slideshow format instead of in the list. This is Andrew Garcia, Senior Analyst with eWeek Labs, and thanks for watching this video talking about the Windows Automated Installation Toolkit and the Problem Steps Recorder.